All right, welcome back. This is video 2. So when we left off, we had put our flight controller in, soldered everything up. We got our ESCs on, so that's good to go. This video, we're going to try to knock out our kind of installing our video transmitter and then also our receiver, which I'm using the Crossfire Nano. If you're not using either Crossfire or the R9, something like that, truthfully, you really should be. But I digress. I'm not going to preach about Crossfire right now, but really great product. It has not let me down. So let's go ahead and get our receiver soldered up. Let's see what this, this, I don't know what you'll be able to see on here because this thing is super small, but I'm going to use our tack like before. Press that down a little bit. And I know that my hand was all up in the way of that last video, but it is what it is. Just doing my best here. But let's see, we'll put this down. We'll solder up these pads just like we have been doing. Kind of keep my same little method going. All right, so we've got our ground power, channel 1, channel 2. Soldered up. I'm going to go ahead and solder all these pads right here as well. This is channel 3, 4, and then I can't remember what those other two are. But just in case I ever want to set up smart audio on Lua script or something like that. So let's go ahead and solder up these pads as well. All right, those are good. So let's have a little look. And when you're using this tack, just make sure you get the rest off as it's heating up. And I haven't ever had any issues with it before, but just check the underside and just make sure you dab it back up. But let's see. All right, here we go. So ground, let me get something to point. We have ground at the bottom, and then our power, and then channel 1, channel 2, I believe. So that's what we're going to wire up. I'm going to leave these empty for now. Hopefully there won't be any issues with smart audio. Crossing my fingers. I know it's kind of different now with the new beta flight, but we have our wires here. Of course, ground, power, channel 1, channel 2. Up. There we go. All right, that took a little longer than expected, but that's okay. Let's see. So we got our wires hooked up to the Crossfire receiver. Those are good, those are nice. Let's go ahead and figure out now how I need to trim these. Some position. I'm gonna want my receiver just kind of sitting right in here, right next to the capacitor. So I'll probably, let's see, bring these. Let me figure they're going to UART3, I believe. I actually just looked. All right, we got this figured out. So the Crossfire Nano I'm going to have sitting up here by the capacitor, and we need to figure out how much, or I need to trim these wires. I'm going to be running them to RX3 and TX3, and those, I just saw them, so they're actually just right here, so they're not far at all. I have a TX and then T3, R3. And then I have a ground, and then a 5 volt. So actually, they'll kind of run just 4 in a row right here on this top row. I'm gonna have ground, 5 volt, and then my T3, R3. So I'll just kind of pull the wires on here. I'll clip them right there. Give a little bit of room, but you know, there's no need to have a bunch of wires just hanging around. So let's go ahead and clip these off here. All right, get those away. You can just kind of strip these with your thumb. That's why I really like these silicone wires. You can just do this very easily. All right, strip these up. Where's the tack? Get a little piece of the blue tack here. You can push the wires down a little bit at the base, and then make sure they're not frayed or anything sticking out. Let's get our iron. Tin these up nice and easy. All right, so we've got those tinned. I'm gonna put like a little bit of this tack. I'll probably set it right here on this plate, so it'll just hold the receiver in place. How is this gonna go? Let's go ahead and figure out how I'm gonna have that. I probably want it kind of coming back across this way, and maybe, yeah, that's how I'm gonna have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this down right there, and go ahead and start soldering these wires up. I'll show you a way we can shorten them once we're done. So let's see how this is set up again. On the top row, we got ground, power. And the way to know with the Crossfire, I always have to look it up, but here we go. You got your ground, power, and then the first one, channel 1, always goes to receiver, and then channel 2 goes to transmitter. So we'll go R and then T on your flight controller. R and T on your flight controller. Let's set this back down. Alright, ground, power, RT. Ground, power, RT. Ground, power, RT. Top row. I'm going to come towards me, I believe. So white will go first down here. So we put our white wire, that was channel 1, we put it going to the receiver, or RX3. We're gonna have the yellow wire needs to go, which is channel 2 on the Crossfire, needs to go to the transmitter. So that'll be TX3 on this flight controller. All right, let's finish up with this ground. All right, there we go. All right, receiver is on. Let's pick this back up. So this wire is not too bad, not too long here or excess, but the way you can shorten up this wire is just kind of give it a little twist. Once you've got everything soldered on, you know, don't want anything too tight or nothing, but we can twist it a few times, and then we'll run it right back up here. Just make it a little bit cleaner. I'm going to go ahead and attach the antenna here, and I'm going to put some heat shrink over it too. just gonna run the heat shrink right over here. Run that right over here. Well, actually, I'm gonna wait to do that till we power up and boot everything up and make sure it's all good. All right, so Crossfire's ready. Let's go ahead and kind of hook up the rest of our VTX wires. On this flight controller, let's see, VTX is gonna go here on this line. We're gonna have, I want to point something out to you guys as well. If you look, or if you could see this, up above these pads, there's these two little small pads. You may have seen them before, like with the Spectrum. I think sometimes you have the jump pads, but on this flight controller, there's a center pad and then two pads to the right or left. You bridge this side if you want 5 volts to come through, and then you bridge, well, the ones they already have bridged means 9 volts are coming through on both of these. So that means the pad right below it is sending 9 volts. But if you ever wanted to lower the power, you could bridge the 5 volt next to it. That would make this pad here send 5 volts. But anyway, we need the 9 volts for this transmitter because it runs 7 to 25 volts. Yeah, so down here we're gonna have here on this flight controller, the VTX goes for the video, and then we're gonna have TX5 for smart audio, video, and then power, and then ground. So smart video, power, ground. Smart video, power, ground. Put a little bit more flux on here to kind of smooth this process out. I'll twist these a couple times. Make them as short as possible, but without, you know, I want to come across this way. Make them as short as possible, but without any tension. I think this will be just fine. So what do we say? Smart video, power, ground. Yeah. Smart video, power, ground. Smart video, power, ground. So let's get our cable. For this one, there's a blue cable, so that's for smart audio. That's going to go to the transmitter. I've got it set for TX5. So that's going to go to TX5. Smart video, power, ground. So now on this flight controller says VTX. All right, smart video, power, ground. Power comes next. And then finally ground. All right. So let's see. I've got, this looks pretty good to me. I'll you know, maybe tuck some of this wires up here, like underneath, so I don't have too much coming there. This, of course, is going to go. How will this set? I might just set this down here like that. Not exactly sure yet with this receiver. I think this is what I'm gonna plan though. No. Turn it back the original way I had, so this antenna comes back. So once I heat shrink this up, this will kind of be sitting here. I'll probably zip tie things down with my capacitor, but we're looking good so far. We have the Crossfire here, capacitor, Crossfire, of course, going to our TX, you know, our UART3. We've got our video transmitter wires hooked up. Smart audio going to TX5. Video, ground, or power, ground. All right, so I think that's it for this one. This is where we'll stop. We've got the receiver in, we've got the video transmitter in. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my multimeter and just go ahead and test the board real quick, make sure I don't have any shorts with all my solder flying around. And then after that, I think on the next video where we pick up is we'll actually go ahead and power up, and yeah, we'll power up. All right, see you then.